Hey guys, what to do? Your boy Exodious here bringing you guys another video. So I didn't really have anything to talk about today, so I kind of formulated. I was looking through Twitter, and they had the show Living Single, and I think it was trending or something. But there was a lot of talk about it, how it like Friends kind of copied it, and Friends was like the white version, so to speak, of Living Single. And it kind of just got me thinking about time periods. So I figured we'd have like a real talk on time periods. Because a lot of people talk about like things that they miss, and and then there's a lot of people that talk about 2016, and I just wanted to know what everyone's favorite time period was, like favorite decade. If you could live in any decade, how old would you want to be during that decade, and what decade? Obviously, I'd have to say the 90s. I always talk about it. I love the 90s because above videos, above streaming, above video games and everything, music is like my first love. And to me, music was greatest in the 90s. If I could go back to stop that. It's clawing up Brittany's laptop. But if I could go to any time period to be the 90s, I love the 90s, yo. Tupac, obviously, the GOAT. They even had Biggie, I don't really like Biggie, but I like the whole competition thing, the West Coast, Snoop Dogg, the TV shows, Outkast, just so many great things spawned in the 90s. Freaking NWA, Eazy-E was still alive, all this stuff. I wish I could be like in my 20s during the 90s. I think that's what because I used to say like I wish I could be born then, because I was born in 99, but if you were just born in the 90s, you wouldn't really get to experience any of that. I wish that I was like in my 20s in the 90s. I'd sacrifice all the technology we have today, the cell phones and everything, computers, just to go back in the 90s and really experience, like, to me, the golden era of rap and of music. And see Michael Jackson, see Prince, and I know that they were still living during my time, but like it's not like I was old enough before Michael Jackson died to go see his concert. I only had the music to enjoy, and like I still get Tupac's music, and I love Tupac and everything, and I get to watch videos and stuff on him. But to experience that in person would have just been amazing. I would have loved to live in the 90s. The TV shows, freaking Living Single, the Jamie Foxx show, and Living Color. And I didn't get to experience those things firsthand, but my dad and me watched a lot of it. So it still it reigns true today, and I still get to like enjoy them, and it still brings back good memories. But I wish I would have got to really enjoy them when they were coming out, and enjoy like rap when it really started to take off. Because obviously rap was like created and invented the late 70s, early 80s. But the 90s, I feel like, is when it really kicked off, And there was a pretty good portion in the 2000s as well before all of this came. I'd say rap was pretty good until like 2009, 2010, when we started getting, and this is no disrespect to them, when we started getting like the Young Thugs and everything, which I like Young Thug. I think he makes pretty decent music, and I think he's pretty creative, but he inspired a lot of less talented people to, I don't know, do whatever they think that they're doing. Kid Cudi. I love Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's OG, but I really wish there was a time, like, but then that brings me into, like, if there was time travel, I wouldn't go back and change anything, but I really wish I could go back in time and see what really happened, with, like, the Romanovs, we talked about, and that's one of my favorite things in history is like the conspiracies and stuff, but one of the most frustrating things at the same time, because we'll never really know what happened, like with the Romanovs, who did Anastasia escape, Rasputin, all that stuff, JFK, the MLK assassination, all this stuff. I wish I could just be like a fly on the wall there, go back in time and just be a fly, so I couldn't change anything, but I could witness it, and remember it. To really know what happened, know what happened with Tupac, know what happened with Biggie, it's just, there's so many things in life, and not knowing what really is the answer, not knowing what really happened, that's one of the most frustrating things in life for me, because I like being sure of things, and you never know who could be lying to get like a quick buck or anything else, and it upsets me. I wish I could just go back and see everything. That'd probably be my biggest wish. If I could wish for anything, besides wishing for more wishes, if I could wish for one thing and it wasn't more wishes, I'd probably wish that I could go back and experience things firsthand. You know, be a fly in the room, be something in the room where, and be able to go through, like, pick the individual things that I want to go back and see, and just see how they really played out, you know, really know the truth behind them. Like, I was reading this story on YouTube, and it was a bit, I don't like watching them because I don't like really thinking about it, but it was a video where it said pictures taken right before someone died, before their death. And I was watching it, and the first people that popped up were these two girls that went exploring in Panama. And they just disappeared. They went on like a hike or something, and they just disappeared, and no one knows what happens. I really wish I could just know what happened, because there's so many different opinions and things are just like racking your brain trying to figure out what really happened and what went down. And it's just, I really wish I had the answers. It was a crazy story too, because I get the way that they kind of planned it, like said that it happened, was one of the girls got injured and the other girl went for help because they went to walk the dog of the home that they were staying in, and the dog ended up back at home, but they never did. And they were missing for like 2-3 weeks, and there was like a hunt that went out, but they were in a completely different area of the paths and the trails and everything. And there's like pictures on the camera, and it looks like the one that was still okay, she was trying to like mark where she had to leave her friend to go get help. And then there's like a picture where she took of her skull that was like bleeding and stuff. I forget the name of it, but if you looked up two girls that went missing in Panama, I'm sure that it would pop up. And I was just trying to do a bunch of research, and it's like, who knows if they were like abducted by human beings, or if they were ravaged by animals, or, you know, if they just fell into the lake. Because they said it started raining and they were going across like this wire bridge that they had set up, that they have set up in the trails. And I guess it started raining and downpouring and just a bunch of stuff like that. But then it makes it suspicious if they did fall in the lake or the water or whatever, the stream, because one set of their bones was like bleached perfectly white. So it seems like there was like foul play or something at hand, and then there was like a foot that was left in the boot. It's really interesting. I'd suggest people looking that up if that's your kind of thing. I like mysteries and things, but I like when they can get solved. I hate when they can't, and I don't think that case ever going to get solved. You look at a lot of cases, like Tupac. His case is never going to get solved. Like, we all have our idea of what happened, but then there's still people that believe he's alive and yada yada and lookalikes. And, you know, 7 billion people in the world, and you think that there aren't going to be people that look alike. There's probably someone somewhere that looks exactly like me, you know? I get told all the time. I saw someone, like Justin told me the other day, I was at this party and someone looked just like you, blah, 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 you know? So, but most of the people are dead from that, you know? You wait too long and most of the people die, and especially when they're like gangsters and people that are involved with gangs and stuff like that, and you're unfortunately never going to get like the outcome to it. So it really sucks, but that's all I really had to talk about. What is your favorite time period, and for what reason, and how old would you have liked to have been during that time period? Just let me know down in the comments. I'll be streaming tonight around 5 or 6. You know, we've been having a lot of fun, and we'll go from there. So have a wonderful day, guys. Hope you had a good day at school, if you're getting off school or work or anything, and hope to see you guys later. Peace out, homies.